guys, how you doing? jpsarrireviews here. I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend. And if you're a big fan of XM Studios, if you're a collector of Marvel 1/4 scale statues, then there's a treat for you today. XM Studios is releasing a Professor X 1/4 scale statue, and it looks great. Actually, there are two versions. There's a modern version and a classic version, so you can choose the one that you feel more comfortable with, the one you prefer. Actually, XM Studios was supposed to release this week a Batman Who Laughed statue, but due to the poor feedback, they decide to pull the plug on that one for the time being, and they're gonna fix some things here and there, particularly now, of course, now with Sideshow having competition with their version that looks fantastic, and also Prime One Studio. I think they need to go back to the drawing board and fix some things. So when that goes on pre-order, we'll talk about it. But for the time being, Marvel fans, definitely you need to pay attention to this. There are two versions. Again, I'm gonna start with the modern version. The retail price for this is $12.99 Singapore dollars, so you're looking around $1,100 US dollars. If you're a member of the Prestige Group, you have to pay, well, you pay $11.69 and 10 cents, and this is only available in Southeast Asia, in this case Brunei, Hong Kong, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. The edition size, the max that they want to achieve for the version B is 599 pieces. You have to pay a deposit of 400 Singapore dollars, and of course then you pay the rest on shipment. Let me show you now the second edition, which is the regular, or the classic version, I'm sorry. The max for that is also $5.99. Now this one is cheaper than the version B. Of course, the modern version has lighter features, and it's larger, I would say. It weighs a little more. It's more intricate with detail. Now the retail price for this one is $11.50 Singapore dollars. The Prestige price is 1,035 Singapore dollars. Pre-orders open on October 17, so it is open now, 6 p.m. If you pre-order before the October 22nd at noon, you will receive a collectible display plaque on the featured character as your early bird pre-order gift. Now, I'm not crazy about those, the plaques or anything like that. I don't think it's something that you need in your display. But some people, some collectors want to have it all. They want everything to be extra exclusive. So, if that's your thing, if that's your jam, then definitely you need to jump on this right away. Now, in the Professor X version A, the premium collectible statue features Professor X in his wheelchair, two head sculpts, one facing forward, one facing Magneto's helmet, two right arm switch outs, crafted in cold cast porcelain, each painstakingly handcrafted statues individually hand painted with the highest possible quality finish. And we know that the max that they want to achieve is 599 pieces. The artist is Oliver. Alan Sales is the sculptor. Carlos Dattoli is the art print. XM Studios design and development team. So now let's look at the pictures. And as you can see, again, this is the classic version with the wheelchair. Although, even looking at the wheelchair, it looks kind of modern. This is a very modernized wheelchair. It kind of reminds me a little bit of the films, of the XM films. I was watching the film recently with my wife. I went back and started watching through Disney Plus some of the older movies. So it kind of feels like that. So it does have a little bit of modern touch. He even has a buckle. To be honest with you, I'm not crazy about the buckle. I don't think it's necessary. He looks like a cowboy sitting there. I don't know. It's just maybe just me. I feel that he doesn't need to go that far. But as you know, in this case, XM always takes some liberties with the R. They try to modernize, so they're trying to kind of appeal everyone. And they have a very young crowd of followers, a lot of young collectors. So they want to give that young touch, even on the most classic depictions. But here, of course, is holding the Magneto helmet. That's very nice. There's something about the eyes that I don't know what to tell. It kind of like looks that he's not really looking at the helmet, but he's looking through it or something. I don't know. There's something about it. I do like this portrait. And of course, the arm, the switch out arm here. I really like that. On this angle. Yeah, when you look at it, definitely this is very reminiscent of the XM, the original XM films. Just the way the chair is built. In this case, the wheel. Definitely, it's very close to the films, which is not really a bad thing, because I think a lot of people love those films. Although, you know, they're cheesy when you come to look at it. You look at the back of the wheels in the back as well. So yeah, this is a very modern touch, very modern design for the wheelchair. Perhaps not something that the people that grew up actually reading the comics back in the 70s or 80s will appreciate. But nonetheless, I think they really marrying those two things, the classic style with some modern touch, and that's, in my opinion, is good. So I know a lot of collectors are gonna go for this one just because of that. You can see those blue eyes. They look great. Actually, the paint job is good. I would say the tie is fine. Looks a bit plasticky. Maybe they could add a little bit of design to that tie to make it look better, not as plasticky. Yeah, he's not really looking at the helmet. He's looking to the other side, or he's looking right next to it, but that's it. You know, I think that's fine. But it would have been nice if he was actually looking at it, because actually that's the action that he's trying to present, instead of just really kind of showcasing with the arm the helmet. Maybe it's just a nitpick from my part, but look at the wheel. We haven't had that many Professor X statues over the years. Only, I think there's a couple customs, and on the 1/6 scale we have, of course, we had the Bowen, and also Hard Hero produced, and a lot of people went for the Hard Hero because he was classic, while the Bowen was modern. I'm glad that XM is really considering those factors, and they want to give something to different fans. You know, people that they love the 70s style, the 80s style, but also those that are more familiar with the 90s and more modern style. Now we're back with the B version and the modern version, and this one, Professor X is in hover chair with his Cerebro helmet on, concentrating on his psionic powers. 2 left and 2 right arms switch outs. Light up features on the base of the hover chair and panel, crafted in cold cast porcelain. Each painstakingly handcrafted statues individually hand painted with the highest possible quality finish. And again, the edition sizes, the max is going to be $5.99. The same artist involved in the process, Oliver, Alan Sales is the sculpt, Carlos Dattoli is the art print, and XM Studios design and development team. And we are looking at the pictures very quickly. And I think a lot of fans of Jim Lee, a lot of fans of the 90s are going to jump on this right away. And I think that's a big number of XM fans. I love the design. I would say that I love some of the aspects of the classic design. I'm more a classic person, although I love Jim Lee's style as well. I love both because I grew up in both eras. I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. I was a kid in the 80s. I read a lot of the comics. I was a fan in the 80s of the comics, John Byrne style, John Byrne art. But then also I was a fan of the Jim Lee era, although I wouldn't say of the stories, but more of the art. And this is very classic. And what I like about what XM is doing is that, you know, in many ways, they're pushing both. So if you like both, then you might end up having to have both if you have two different displays. If you not only have a classic display, you also have a modern display, you may need to have different Xaviers there. And that's something that I know some collectors will go for that. Now this one, again, love the light up feature. And the idea that pretty much the wheelchair is hovering, that's pretty cool. Different poses, different switch outs. Of course, he has having a Cerebro. Too bad they didn't add some of that concept to the classic. That would have been nice. I think it would have been nice if they have some of the same switch outs. You know, and the only difference would be in this case the wheelchair. But I think what they're trying to do is just to entice people to look at both as different pieces, and that's actually very smart and is viable. You know, as any other company, the purpose is to sell the products, and if you only get one, or you only purchase one thing and that becomes the definite thing, then what the company is going to do in the future, who is going to buy the next piece. So companies do that all the time. That's the reason why you see so many variants of things. But yeah, I like this one. I like the fact that he has Cerebro there. It would be nice if he was able to carry also the Magneto helmet. But, you know, it goes with the territory on this. You know, it depends on what you're looking for and what is your favorite portrayal of the character. But really love the design and, of course, the light up features that we saw there too as well. But look at Cerebro there. Love the detail. Actually, I love the suit, and it's the same suit as the other one. So I love the detail on the suit. It has a different, as you can see, tie. This one is black, and actually I like this one more than I like the red one. But that one gives more contrast to the other one. Of course, this one, you see the gold wheelchair, so this gives more contrast to this one. So I think that's the reason why the paint job is different as well. But looking at every angle, oh man, this looks great. I really like it. I do like this one. I love in this case, some of the changes on this one in comparison to the other one. I love the pose. I think I prefer this one for the pose over the original. Love the wheelchair, but it still feels a bit modern. I just wish this one was you were able to have the Magneto helmet as well. But it is what it is. Love that light up feature. It's very bright, and I think a lot of people are going to, because of that, I'm going to go for this one. Because even though, again, the other one is classic, it still feels modern. But this one feels more complete in that sense, even when it lacks some of the switch as the other one has. Now, the only thing I'm noticing is I'm not sure if you can remove the helmet. That would be another downer. Now, coming to the end of this video, and now in conclusion, I'm happy for XM Studios. I think the company deserves a lot of praise for doing something that Sideshow it's been so afraid to do for quite some time. You know, I'm not saying that Sideshow's afraid of the competition. They're not. They have fantastic sculptors, fantastic artists. But in the recent years, I was in the last 5 years or so, I would say Sideshow has become more a company that reproduces and rehashes ideas over and over and over. And they have been doing that forever. But it seems that it's more pervasive now than it has ever been. And at the same time, we understand that licenses are finicky and companies have limitations in what they can offer due to so many factors. But I do believe that Sideshow should, sometimes sitting things down a little bit, instead of just going all out and trying to reproduce and recreate things as they used to do back in the day. New ideas, fresh ideas. Yeah, I love what they're doing. The sculpts are fantastic. They have a fantastic group of artists working for the company. But, how many Wolverines do we need? And how many of the same? How many Supermans? How many Spider-Mans? They continue to rehash the same idea. And I do believe that XM offers that different view, the opposite view, not from a consumer point of view, but most importantly from a collector's point of view. And that's always great. And I love XM for doing such a thing. I love this. Whether you like the modern version, it's a tough decision, because if you're like me, in my case, if I have to choose, I would be turn into one or the other, because I like both. But in some instances, I feel that the modern, it looks better based on the design. And if you're only an XM collector, I think it's going to fit better with that collection. Now, if you are more a classic collector, and you like, perhaps you like to mix Sideshow with XM, you're looking for the more specific look, then definitely I would say version A would probably fit better with that. Even if you have, like, I would say, a movie-based collection, characters that look like the movie counterparts, then definitely I would say the classic would fit a lot better. But yeah, it's just a matter of choice. What is your opinion? What do you think? Are you a fan of any of these two? Are you going to pre-order? Did you already pre-order? Let me know in the comments below. So once again, my friends, thanks for watching. God bless. Take care. And I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.